George Pickens to the Dallas Cowboys. Now, this is a trade I want to look at from the Cowboys' perspective. And let's start with the positive. The positive is they've been looking for a receiver to complement CeeDee Lamb, catalyst going for their offense. I think they got that in George Pickens. Great talent. No debating that at all from my side. Now, going over to the negatives, I'm not even going to look at the character aspect of it. Brush that aside for now. What I'm more focused on is a team building and financial structure of the Cowboys going forward. Now, for 2025, what this means is they're actually in a decent spot. George Pickens is coming into his last year of his rookie contract. So the cap hit for this 2025 season is going to be quite low for George Pickens. With Pickens being added to the team, I think we'll actually see a good, potentially great year from the Cowboys, potentially making it to the playoffs and maybe winning a playoff game there. What this does mean, though, is since George Pickens is in his last year of his rookie contract, for 2026, what then? What about the future? George Pickens, if he is relatively close to CeeDee Lamb, is going to want CeeDee Lamb money. Now, CeeDee Lamb is earning $34 million average salary a year. The Cowboys cannot give up that much. They can, but they shouldn't, just to make sure they build up their team as effectively as possible. Not to say that you can't do it. I mean, let's look at the Eagles, A.J. Brown earning 32, Devonta Smith earning 25 million. Those are sizable contracts for the receivers. But that's the Philadelphia Eagles. They're already a powerhouse, arguably favorites for the Super Bowl this year as well. Also, the Cowboys are not in a great position in terms of their cap space. So Dak Prescott, as we know, has one of the highest contracts for a quarterback. And we have Micah Parsons actually coming into the last year of his contract as well. So they're going to have to do quite a few things in terms of renegotiating Dak's contract, which should be no issue at all. It happens every year. With Micah, though, that might be a potential issue because Micah is going to want Myles Garrett money. Myles Garrett earns $40 million a year. That is a lot of money to give up. We can't have two major contracts like that. We can't have Micah getting this big, sizable contract from Dallas and also George Pickens going from a rookie contract to a sizable receiver contract. That's just not a sustainable thing that the Cowboys can do if they're really hoping for a Super Bowl run, be a playoff contending team year in and year out. That is my worry and that is my reservation. Now, I'd like to hear what you think. And I have the fear that because it is the Cowboys, with any other team, it might be different, but because it is the Cowboys, I think they're actually going to have a great year on offense, and that's going to serve as an argument and a catalyst to sign George Pickens for a longer-term, sizable receiver contract. But at the end of the day, it might just put them in a position where it's not great for their future just because of the cap space. Not to say that these players don't deserve the money, they do if they do perform, but from a organization Cowboys perspective, you have to look at the future. You're giving up 2 picks for this guy. You're giving up a 3rd round pick and a 5th round pick for George Pickens. You do get a 6th round in return, which is, not great if you want to build for the future and continue building upon that talent. Now, let me know what you think. This is my thoughts here. I did have other thoughts I didn't include here, but that's basically it. Aside from the character perspective, from a team building and financial perspective, those are my arguments. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.